What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Mark's Tech. So in this review, I'm going to try to keep things nice and simple, nice and consumer friendly. I'm going to try to leave out the tech specs to a bare minimum because I understand that like no one really cares about that because tech specs are pretty much all over YouTube already. There's just something satisfying about using a OnePlus device. So like for example, I've used pretty much every main Samsung device that came out last year, which was the beginning of kind of my YouTube career with the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Then I got the Note 10 Plus. Then I got the Galaxy Fold. And then now I'm using the S20 Ultra. Now, my overall favorite device of last year was definitely the Galaxy Fold. That device was just so unique and it just brought a completely different kind of interaction with a phone that was before thought to be something from the future. But from a normal phone standpoint, from a normal kind of, slate phone that we're kind of all used to, my favorite phone of last year was the OnePlus 7T. I don't know, I just love it. I love using OnePlus devices. I don't know what it is. It's like the software mixed with the high refresh rate just makes a beautiful experience. It's like the first time listening to the Beatles, kind of. Not really. So why did I get the OnePlus 8 and not the OnePlus 8 Pro? Many of you have stated, many of you have sent me DMs. And the short answer is last year I have pretty much bought the best of every phone that came out that at least I wanted to review. This year I kind of want to mix it up a little bit and I want to try to get in the good phones as well as the not so good phones, the not pro models, the base models. Now the OnePlus 8 that I have here is literally the most base of all base models. This comes in at just $700. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. And I still think if optimized properly, 8 gigabytes of RAM in 2020, even for an Android device, is plenty. Okay, for the past week that I've been using this phone, I haven't had any issues with RAM whatsoever. No unexpected app crashes, no major app reloads, nothing. The phone performed just as good as, where'd it go? As this 12 gigabyte RAM iPhone, not iPhone, oh my god, 12 gig iPhone, yeah right, 12 gigabyte S20 Ultra. See, that's what I think about kind of these high-end flagships. They are expensive, really expensive, god, but they don't deliver a huge bonus into speed and performance. Does 12 gigs of RAM or 16 gigs of RAM sound cool? Yeah, of course. Does 100 gigs of RAM sound cool? Yeah. Does getting a reply from your crush on Snapchat sound cool? Yeah. Oh, you left me on red. Yeah, okay, cool. We'll see about that. But the question is, do you really need it? And if you do need it, is it worth the extra few $100s that you're going to be spending? The OnePlus 8 does not have wireless charging, which for me kind of, sucks because I have wireless chargers everywhere around the house. I have one literally right there. I have a few in the living room and one in the bedroom. So pretty much I have them everywhere around the house, and it kind of sucks to go back to using a cable. But it kind of made me happy because I can actually use the phone while it's charging. I haven't had that in a while. So it's actually pretty cool, but I understand how it can be annoying sometimes. So yeah, I would still much rather have wireless charging. But just because it's not for me doesn't mean it's not for you. So if you don't really care about wireless charging, then why do you have to spend the extra premium on the phones that do have it, but then you don't use it because you don't care about it? You see what I'm saying? The good news is that the wire charging that comes with the phone is extremely bloody quick. I mean, just take a look at these before and after pictures, take a look at the time, and take a look at the battery percentage. I mean, come on. If you are ever running low on juice with this phone, plug it in for 10 minutes or 13, 14 minutes, and then you're good for the rest of the entire day. No doubt about it. See, I would say you can't get that fast speed with wireless charging, but the OnePlus 8 Pro has 30 watts of fast wireless charging. That's nuts. Maybe I should have gotten the 8 Pro. The form factor in this phone is actually something I really enjoy. It comes in at a perfect size of 6.5 inches. It's good enough, man. I mean, look, I like the S20 Ultra, but this phone is just too damn big, man. Okay, so I'm kind of happy that the 8 is at this perfect size. It's not small enough to use with one hand just yet, but it's definitely more doable than something like the S20 Ultra. As I've said before, the phone has a 6.5-inch screen and it's a 1080p panel with 90 Hz functionality. And yes, it's a 1080p panel, as I've said, but it is a good 1080p panel. Okay, people think resolution tells the whole story of how good a screen looks like. And while that does play a big part, that's not the full story at all. That's like saying the bigger the megapixels on a camera, the better the picture quality. And if you guys use cameras, you would know that's not the whole story. The AMOLED panel is great. You know, the colors pop, everything looks nice and sharp even for 1080p. Watching movies on the phone is comfy and roomy. Playing games is no problem, and the phone flies through anything that you push it through. Now, this phone does come with the in-display fingerprint sensor, and listen, I'm gonna say it like this, and no one will ever change my mind. It's the best, at least when you compare it to Samsung, because Samsung's, I mean, the OnePlus in-display fingerprint sensor is so good, it makes the Samsungs look like garbage. And yeah, listen, before all you Samsung fanboys out there down a energy shot and type at the speed of light trying to prove me wrong, listen, I know, okay? I know the Samsung in-display fingerprint sensor is more secure. I get it. But listen, I'm not James Bond. People need to stop acting as if there is someone out there that is trying to get into their phones just to look at their double chin pictures all day, okay? No one is after you and your phone. Relax, okay? If you're the CEO of a multi-billion, trillion, gazillion dollar company, yeah, okay, you might need to take some extra precautions. Sure, okay, we get that. If you're the average person, okay, stop trying to act like, oh, it's so secure. Like, no one cares, bro. Relax. If it was up to me, I would much rather have speed and reliability over, you know, being secure and missing most of the time. I mean, don't get me wrong, Samsung did do a good job with the updates and improving the fingerprint sensor, but it's still wrong about 4 out of 10 times. It just messes up. So with the OnePlus 8, even the OnePlus 7 Pro, at least that I've had, they've been perfect. It's flawless. It works every single time, no problem. I can unlock it, lock it, unlock it, lock it 100 times in a row, and each of those 100 times will be a go. So let's talk about the build quality of the OnePlus 8. The front is glass. Let's continue. The rear is also glass. And frosted glass is actually a little more softer to the touch than regular glossy glass. Moving on to the side of the phone, this is something I wish every phone manufacturer would put, and it is the amazing ring vibrate and mute switch, or toggle. Now, I think it's a switch, because toggle implies two, right? Toggle is on and off. But a switch is multiple? I don't know, let me know in the comments. So this is so amazing, man. Like you can put the phone on ring, vibrate, mute, whatever you want, right in your pocket. You don't even have to take the phone out to do so. So imagine this, right? You're chilling at your girl's crib, right? Then your ex calls you out of nowhere. What are you gonna do? Your girl's right next to you. What are you gonna do? You're gonna pull your phone out of your pocket, be like, uh-oh. And then that's it, right? Then off with your head. You're not gonna do that, right? You're gonna what? You're gonna slip your phone, you're gonna slip your hand, you know, quietly in your pants, flip that to mute, and that's it. And that's it. And then she asks, who's that? I'm like, I don't know. What are you talking about? That was my email. And the bottom of the phone, like any other million phone out there, USB-C, speaker, microphone. Let's keep it going. Speaking of the speakers, they sound nice and fantastic. They're perfect enough to be watching movies, they're perfect enough to be playing games, or they're even good enough to be listening to music, even though I don't really like listening to music on a phone because, like, you know, it's all crap, you know? I like to enjoy my music, which is why I use headphones. But if you're the type of person that likes to listen to music on a phone with a loudspeaker, it sounds pretty good. It's nice and full, nice and crisp. And a phone is not a phone without call quality, and, well, I mean, we're in 2020, so is there a phone out there that has bad call quality? So, of course, yeah, the call quality on this phone is fantastic. If you're listening to someone on speakerphone, they can hear you perfectly, you can hear them perfectly. It's nice. I was going to review this phone and then return it, but I'm actually going to keep it. I'm going to put the box in my collection. Nah, that's stupid. I like it. Also, can I quickly say thank you to OnePlus for making a proper pro and not pro device, okay? There are many phones out there, and I'm not gonna mention any names like Apple or Samsung, you know. They release a Pro or Max or Ultra, whatever, but the differences between the Ultra and the not Ultra is pretty much just screen size, battery, and the amazing space zoom camera. Okay, that's pretty much it. Meanwhile, with the 8 and the 8 Pro, the differences are actually pretty massive. Like, there are some considerable differences between those two phones for that extra $200. But again, if you don't care about those things, well, don't spend the extra 200 bucks. This thing is still a damn good phone. So anyway, that is pretty much it. If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you are new here, consider subscribing. This was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.